The following is a live presentation of Retro Sports Network, home of the champions of the past, present, and or future. Well, good evening. Welcome to the program. My name is Ron Juckett. On this 4th day of April 2023, we have reached the first day of summer in our 2001 in action PC Odyssey, and the Florida Marlins and Atlanta Braves have cooperated to give us a battle for first place. Both of these teams are 37 and 32. There we go. I feel better, excuse me. Playing game number 70 of the year on this wet and hot and sticky rainy night in Georgia. Brooke Benton would approve, and if you have a speaker device, I highly recommend that you just ask him to play rainy night in Georgia. For the Braves, it's Greg Maddux. He's looking for only his 4th win of the year. His ERA is getting down there, under 3.3 now. But the one-loss record just isn't there. A.J. Burnett goes for the Marlins. And again, they are in a flat-footed tie. We should have a handy-dandy game on a hot, sticky one in hot Atlanta. Next, as Retro Sports Network presents 2001 in Action PC Season Odyssey. Tonight, from Turner Field in Atlanta, Georgia, it will be the Atlanta Braves and the Florida Marlins. And tonight's game is brought to you by DigitalDice.com, the best darn podcast on the web for your sports simulation and replay needs. Find us today on Spotify, Spreaker, iTunes, or wherever else fine podcasts are listed. How you doing, Big Dave? Nice to have you along for the show. Greg Maddux, making his 15th start of the year, is 3-4 with a 3.29 ERA. He is 35 years old. He throws the changeup. He is an extreme, as in a triple plus, extreme ground ball pitcher. And that fastball, Bugs Bunny would be proud. It tops out at 82 miles an hour. His last start was against the Red Sox. We had it, and Maddux didn't pitch all that well. 4 innings, an 11-7 win, 68 pitches, 6 hits, 7 runs, 6 earned, 3 homers, and 3 strikeouts. Overall, 93 innings, 86 hits, 38 runs, 34 earned. He's now given up 10 homers on the year. He has walked 12 and struck out 82. And as we wait for the Mets and the the Giants to finish up on RJL's channel, we'll tell you the lineup for the Marlins. Luis Castillo leads off at second base for Florida. I knew the sneeze is coming. John Mayberry in right. Excuse me. Will bat second. Cliff Floyd is in left field. He'll go third. Mike Lowell is at third. He'll clean up. Preston Wilson is in center. He'll bat fifth. I'm allergic to myself, I think. Charles Johnson behind the plate goes sixth. Commando Solo. Thank you, sir, for that. Let's see. Charles Johnson behind the plate bats sixth. Lee is at first. Will bat seventh. Gonzalez at short will bat eighth. And A.J. Burnett on the hill will go ninth. He should throw about 120 pitches. B.J. Surhoff is a 4 and left, as we set the Braves defense for you. Andrew Jones at 10 and a 6 in center. It'll be Davey Martinez in right. I think he's a 4 out there. Chipper Jones is a 3 at third. Mark DeRosa is a 4 at short. QV Ovaris a 6 at second. Rico Bronya a 4 at first. Paul Bacco, who some of you are going to get the wrong idea, he was the primary catcher for the Braves. No, just for Maddux's games. He's a 4 and a 5. And Maddux, the Gold Glover, a 10 on the mound with a .986 fielding percentage. Castillo steps in at 243, a homer and 20 RBI. Nighttime baseball tonight, daytime on Wednesday and Thursday. Castillo laces this one right into center field, and the Marlins start off with a single. Brings up John Mayberry. At 276, 2 homers. The future Cardinal has driven in 4. Throw to first, and Louis is back. Has 18 steals on the year. Ground ball to Veras. Might be 2. DeRosa for 1. And there's no throw to first. They get the lead runner. 1 out for Cliff Floyd. Having a wonderful year. 327. 20 homers. And 66 RBI. My computer says at 8:35 Eastern Time that it's partly sunny. That is just not true. Pitch to Floyd. Line drive left field. Surhoff will pick it up. Mabry will stop at second. Yes. So first and second for the Marlins. They now have 2 hits in the ballgame. And that'll bring up Mike Lowell. Mikey at 290, 6 homers, and 40 RBI. Also has a 9-game hitting streak. And Lowell gets plunked. So just like the last time out when the Red Sox got to Maddox, the Marlins have him loaded 1 out for Preston Wilson. Preston at 278, 5 homers, and 38 RBI. Slow ground ball to third, and that will roll foul. I'm going to mute for a sec because I got to blow my nose. So still 1 out and a 1-2 count to Wilson. There's a base hit right field. Martinez will pick it up. Mabry will score. Floyd has a head of steam. How you doing, Scotty? But will hold it third, and it's 1-0 Florida. Davey has a 6-arm out there and right. So here's Johnson. 248, 11 homers, and 35 RBI. No, the time is right. It's just whenever the computer is just sent the weather forecast. About 6 weeks, it'll still be late at 8:37, but not now. So they're loaded, and Florida is trying to brash in the barn door early. Base hit left field. Floyd will score. Surhoff does not have that great of an arm, but Lowell slowed down when he hit third. And it's 2-0 Marlins as Floyd scores. So here's Derek Lee, 265 homers and 32 RBI. Yeah, for Maddox, this has not been what he wants. He's thrown 23 pitches, allowed 4 hits, and 2 earned runs so far. His whip in the ball game is 12. Even Devo thinks that's a bit much. Pitched him Lee. Struck him out. He got him in with a 1-2 fastball in there at the knees. 2 out for Alex Gonzalez at 266. 10 homers. He's already hit more than he did in real life. And half the at-bats. Half the sugar, half the calories. All the taste. He's driven in 42. 2-0 Marlins. Maddox kicks and fires. Struck him out. So Greg realized that pitching to contact wasn't going to work. He got him to guess on a fastball, gave him a changeup, and he swung on and missed. But the Marlins get 2 on 4 hits and no errors. They lead on 3. After half an inning, it's Florida 2, Atlanta 0. So here is A.J. Burnett. A young guy at this point, 24 years old, a curveball pitcher at 90 with the fastball. Standard, doesn't favor the ground ball nor the fly ball, making his 9th start of the year. He is 4-3 with an earned run average of 434. He last pitched against Tampa 5 days ago. Got a win in a 6-2 ball game, 7 1/3 innings, 120 pitches, 7 hits, 2 solo homers, Both runs earned. He walked 4 and struck out 3. So overall for Burnett, 47 2/3, 44 hits, 27 runs, 23 earned. He gave up 6 homers already. Has walked 18 and struck out 39. The lineup he'll face, one moment please. Will be Cuvio Veras leading off at second. B.J. Surhoff in left will bat second. Andrew Jones, whose number, by the way, is getting retired by the Braves this summer, is in center. He'll bat third. Chipper, whose number I'm sure is already retired by the Braves, cleans up. Davey Martinez, whose number will not be retired by Atlanta, but maybe Washington, is in right. He'll bat fifth. Rico Bronya, whose number might be retired by his high school, is at first, batting sixth. Mark DeRosa, good job as manager for Team USA, at short will bat seventh. Paul Bacco, whose jersey's been retired by Greg Maddux, behind the plate, goes eighth. And Maddux, who threw 32 pitches in his half of the first, will bat ninth. Defensively for Florida, Floyd is a 6 and a 4 in left. Preston Wilson a 5 and an 8 in center. John Mabry a 3 and a 7 in right. Lowell is a 4 at third. In fact, I think I see the sleeves on the jerseys there. I wonder if this is actually a game against Miami or the Marlins. Alex Gonzalez a 5 at short. Louis Castillo a 6 at second. Derek Lee a 7 at first. Charles Johnson an 8 and a 6 behind the plate. Burnett is a 7 with a .950 fielding percentage. LeCue is at 243, 2 homers, and 21 RBI. It's helpful to have the mouse on the right spot. Yeah, Dave, great discussion with Mark Cohen. Oh, I really enjoyed doing the Digital Diamond Baseball video and hope you use it. I don't think he has any idea what he has done for the community and making those games play the way you want to play them. Commando Solos 193. Nice to have you along. Says it's weird knowing what happens to them now, but seeing them back then. Do you replay any seasons? Pitch to Veras. Struck him out. Good start for Burnett. An 0-2 curve outside on the black. Here's Surhoff. BJ at 249. 6 homers and 20 RBI. Marlins, by the way, are wearing those retro jerseys from their first couple of years. At least on Friday nights. Pitch to Surhoff. It's a ground ball left side for a base hit. Okay. You do. So what do you replay? Andrew Jones at 242, 14 homers and 38 RBI. Was watching some of the Mets game Friday night. And the Marlins teal was all out there. And that the ADT patches were a bit of a shock to see. But you know what was really nice? Night 2 of the season and a decent crowd in Miami. That was nice. Pitch to Jones. Ball 4. Burnett's going to walk his fair share. He walked 83 and 173 and a third. Here's Chipper. Oh, thank you, my friend. 317, 16 homers, and 55 RBI. Burnett's pitch. And they're loaded. Oh, this will go against the notion that pitchers are strong to start the ball game. The Braves have loaded the bases for Dave Martinez with 1 out here in the first. 262, 2 homers, and 6 RBI. So Surhoff on third. Jones on... Andrew on second. Chipper on first. And the Braves trying to chip away at the 2-0 deficit they find themselves in. Ground ball to Lowell. He goes to Castillo for 1. Over to Derek Lee for 2. So they'll turn it. And Surhoff does not score because there was 1 out. So that's why they call it the pitcher's best friend. Braves get a hit, leave on 2, and that's it. After 1, Florida 2, Atlanta 0. So here's Burnett. AJ 1 for 12. That's a batting average of .083. and 8 strikeouts. Maddox spent most of the inning steaming in the Braves dugout, and it had nothing to do with the fact it's 86 here in Atlanta. Ground ball to Maddox on the first base side over to Brogna, 1 out. So it's never good to have me deliver the opening 9 stats after 4 outs. But for Maddox, 37 pitches, an inning and a third, 4 hits, 2 runs, both earned, and 2 strikeouts. Here's Castillo. Louis is 1 for 1. Base hit right center field. Jones will throw it in. And here's Mabry, who was 0 for 1. He reached and scored. So Maddox just doesn't feel all that regular today. Fly ball right field. Martinez goes back, makes the catch on the track for the out. So 2 away for Floyd, who had a single and a run scored in the first. Maddox's pitch. Slow ground ball to Brogna. Rico takes it to the bag, and that will retire the side. Florida gets a hit, and that's it. No runs, no errors. We go to the bottom of the second. It's the Marlins 2, the Braves nothing. So here's Rico Brogna, 252, a home run, and 8 RBI. And if you were a fan of Rico, I apologize for the comment earlier. His college might have retired his number. Ball 4. Assuming that he's American. I shouldn't assume that. Here's DeRosa. Mark hitting a .083. 2 for 24. Third walk for Burnett. Full count curveball missed low and away. Throw to first, and Brogna is back. DeRosa swings. That will be fouled left side. Somebody from DeKalb County made that catch. 0-2 the count. Struck him out. AJ got him to chase a 92-mile-an-hour curve. Wow. So the hard curve works. Here's Baco at 185, 2 homers, and 8 RBI. Ground ball to Castillo, might be 2. Gonzalez for 1 over to Lee, and the Marlins turn it. So 4-6-3 on the fielder's choice. The Braves again can't get anything going. After 2, it's the Marlins 2, the Braves nothing. So it'll be Lowell, Wilson, and Johnson here. I hadn't been stuffy all day until I turned on the microphone to talk to you guys. Lowell was hit by a pitch. His first time up. Ground ball to DeRosa. Mark throws it over to Brogna for the out. Seems like there are more Easter sales from PC and C and D card and dice companies this year than past years. Downey always does a sale, Dave. Here's Preston Wilson as an RBI single, 1 for 1. Of course, it also kind of coincides with the start of baseball season. Easter Sunday this year falls on Masters Sunday. Everyone say hello to Mike from the truck. No sound as he's getting ready to direct his TV show. Yeah, isn't that the way it always seems to happen? Everything working until you hit live. Of course. Of course that's what happens. My bag of cough drops went bad. Did you know that cough drops could go bad? Pitch to Wilson. Ground ball to Varys behind the bag over to Brogna for the out. 2 away for Johnson. Charles also has an RBI single. Yeah, Action PC. There's stuff on Action for sale on Action PC all the time. And you got Sabertooth football and baseball. I had the football game. That is a labor of love. If you love older college football teams, and are a fan of Pay Dirt or Bowl Bound, which they're based on, you will love that game. When we say, here's the pitch to Johnson, there's a ground ball to Maddox, and he makes an error. Of course he does. Speaking of going live, so Maddox bobbles it, and the 18-time Gold Glover boots it. A 2-out error, and that'll bring up Derek Lee, who struck out. He's 0 for 1. When we say, you talked about small operations in the gaming community and everything being handmade. Well, Pirate college football is all handmade. It's just like watching a master candy maker do his craft. Any given Sunday, absolutely. Pitch to Lee is a base hit into right center field, so Maddox isn't his own best friend this time around. Martinez throws it back in, and Johnson's going to try for third. They cut it off to go to second. Varys, do they get Lee? Yes, they do. So it's going to go 9-4-6 on the putout, and that will retire the side. But the Marlins have left on 5. They have 6 hits through 3, and it's only 2-0. So here's Maddox. Greg is 8 for 25, hitting .320 with an RBI. Fly ball, left center field. Preston Wilson, 1 out. Brings up Varys. Cuvio is 0 for 1 with a strikeout. I don't know if Mike is still watching. He is doing, in 2nd and 10, a pretty cool project. He's redoing all the Super Bowls, but he's doing them as a best-of-7 series. Baseball, basketball, and hockey style. I don't think he's had any surprises yet. Here's Varys. Varys struck out his first time up. Burnett opening 9-2 1/3. 42 pitches, a hit, 3 walks, and 2 strikeouts. Got him. A 1-2 fastball swung on and missed. 2 out for Surhoff with a single. I just love the creativity this community has. I would never have thought to do that. Maybe as a kid. Like, don't you wish this was a best-of-7? There's a ground ball to Castillo, over to Lee, and that's an out. And that will retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. After 3, 2-0 Florida. I don't know if he's still here. Let me check, because I can see who is here and who is not. Yes, he is. So I would just ask him. He's Super Bowl tournament. So how is he handling? So just ask him, how is he handling injuries? Because he can't hear what I'm talking about. All one word, by the way. Alex Gonzalez struck out his first time up as we start the 4th. 2-0 Marlins. Right back to Maddox. He won't make that mistake again. Over to Bronya, first base side for the out, and there's 1 away. Burnett is 0 for 1. There you go. AJ waves it back and forth. Ground ball to Varys. Cuvio throws to first. 2 out. So a much better second 9 for Maddox. 61 pitches for his opening 18. 3 2/3 innings. 6 hits and 2 strikeouts. Louis Castillo was singled twice. Drops one down. Baco throws to Varys, and that will be an error. Gets past Varys and into right field, and Castillo is going to take 2. So Louis Castillo is living the life of Riley. That's the second error for the Braves. The unusual thing is it's Maddox and Baco who have made the errors. Here's Mabry. John is 0 for 2. The run scored. If Mike doesn't answer you, Commander Solo, he is watching from work. So don't be offended. Pitch to Mabry. Ball 4. Okay. So here's Floyd. Cliff 1 for 2. Maddox disagreed with the call, and he's having a conversation, but he really is out of sorts again today. The whip today at 1909. That's not good. He's only struck out 2. Oh, you catch a live stream. I'm on noontime Wednesdays and Thursdays. We'll be back to some lunchtime streams on Tuesdays. The wife's appointment, the woman that she sees on Tuesdays, is going on vacation. So we can be Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday live next week. Hard to believe that we're almost at the All-Star break. This is game 70 for both teams. Pitch to Floyd. Struck him out. Oh, wow. Thank you. So Maddox gives the home plate umpire the side eye and strikes out the Floyd. Nothing across after 3.5, 2-0 Marlins. So let's take a look at the standings. These two teams are tied for first. The Mets 2 back. The Phillies 2.5 back. In the Central, we're Steeler fan. Houston is 4 up on St. Louis and Chicago. Cincinnati 5.5. Big Clue won't be too happy about that. Milwaukee 6 back. In the West, San Francisco is seemingly starting to run away with it. They're 6 up. Colorado, Arizona, and Los Angeles are well back. In San Diego, spoiling Tony Gwynn's final year. Yankees by 4.5 over the Red Sox in the American League East. In the Central, Cleveland and Chicago are 43 and 24. And Seattle with a 9-game lead in the American League West. The Dodgers are biding their time, we're being told. Okay, sure. It'll be Andrew Jones, Chipper Jones, and Davey Martinez here in the bottom of the 4th. Andrew walked his first time up. Burnett has walked 3 through the first 3. Right back to AJ over to first. 1 out. Brings up Chipper, who also walked in the first. Popped up. Johnson to the screen behind the plate, and that will touch it and be a souvenir for Ted Turner. 1-2 the count. Burnett rocks and fires. Ground ball to first. Lee will grab it, takes it to the bag. 2 out. So Davey Martinez is grounded into a double play. Asked the question today on the Digital Nights Facebook group. What do you guys use for websites to do research for your projects? Pitch to Martinez. There's a liner in the right field. That's going to drop in front of Mabry for a hit. Only the second hit for Atlanta. I'll bring up Bronya, who walked his first time up. Burnett's pitch. Gets away from Johnson, and Martinez goes to second. So the wild pitch moves Martinez up 90, and a 3-0 count to Bronya with DeRosa on deck. The Marlins have left on 7 through 4. And seemingly had a huge chance in the first to put this one away early. But they haven't cracked anything, and the Braves are hanging right in there. Pitch to Bronya. Struck him out. Burnett is out of it. He gave Bronya something he didn't want, and he swung on and missed. No runs. They hit. The Braves have now left on 3 after 4. 2-0 Marlins. So it'll be Lowell, Wilson, and Johnson to face Maddox here in the 5th. Break the Spell 44 is our latest follower, by the way, or 274th. Lowell is 0 for 1. Popped up left side. Jones, and that will be caught by a young lady from Birmingham. And the count is a ball and 2 strikes. School's out of course. So summer vacation. Come to Atlanta, go tour CNN, go drink a couple of Cokes, and take in a ball game. Rain continues to fall, now 84 degrees, and the wind is at 7 out to left center. Pitch to Lowell. Ground ball up the middle. Varys has it over to first for the out. 1 out for Wilson. Preston 1 for 2. Has himself an RBI single. Fly ball left field. Surhoff goes way back there, but it is long gone. So Wilson has a solo homer, and it's 3-0 Marlins. That ball was hammered. And it's appropriate in a ballpark that honors Hammer and Hank. You nearly put that on the stairwell about halfway up the first deck. Scotty uses Baseball Reference for checking lineups and active rosters as you're working your way through a replay. You're doing 69 Seattle, right? Have the Pilots won anything since we talked last? Here's Charles Johnson, 1 for 2 with an RBI. And that one is cranked to left, but will stay in the yard. Surhoff will track it down, 2 out. So Maddox is allowed 11 homers now on the replay in 97 2/3. Here's Lee. Derek 1 for 2. He is singled and struck out. Fly ball left field. Surhoff. Everything hit hard, and that's off the wall. So Lee is in with a stand-up double, his 18th of the year. Is that one pretty much hit off the L on the Bud Light sign out in left center. So 2 out for Gonzalez, who was 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Maddox just really not happy with himself. Ground ball to DeRosa by the bag at second, over to Bronya, and that will retire the side. So the Marlins get the run on the homer by Preston Wilson. And we go to the bottom of the 5th on a mostly clear 43-degree night in the Queen City of Burlington. It's the Marlins 3, the Braves nothing. If you joined us late, here's how we got here. The Marlins seemingly had Greg Maddox on the ropes in the first inning. They sent 8 to the plate. They scored 2 runs on 4 hits. Preston Wilson, an RBI single to score John Mabry to make it 1-0. Then Charles Johnson singled home Floyd to make it 2-0. He now has a 16-game hitting streak. Braves huffed and puffed but couldn't break the door down. Davey Martinez in the bottom of the first, double play with the bases loaded. Nobody scored, and just a moment ago, Preston Wilson, a solo shot to left field to make it 3-0, his 6th of the year. So Burnett, a 2-hitter through 4. He has walked 3 while striking out 4, and Maddox, again, a struggle 8 hits through 5 and 3 earned runs. DeRosa, Bacco, and Maddox here in the bottom of the 5th. Mark is 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Burnett's pitch. There's a ground ball to Castillo over to Lee for the out. By the way, congratulations to Jim Nance. Yeah, he only did about 5 or 6 basketball games a year. But the fact that he did 32 straight Final Fours and national championship games. That's incredible. You'll never see that again. Bacco is 0 for 1. He grounded into a double play. Think of it this way. When Fox got the baseball contract and did their first World Series in 1996, Joe Buck was what, 26, 27? But he didn't do 25 straight World Series. I think he did 19. So add 14 to that, and that was Nance's streak. Pitch to Bacco. There's a ground ball to Lee. Handed to Burnett for the out. 2 away. Pilots are 6 and 14. Early on, so they're 1 game off their real life totals. You're using OTP 24. Afraid it'll be difficult to replicate their 15 and 15 May, though. We'll just pound some Budweiser. You'll be fine. Here's Maddox. Greg is 0 for 1. 2 out here in the 5th. Ground ball to first. Lee will pick it up himself, and that will retire the side. After 5, it's the Marlins 3. No runs, no hits, no errors for the Braves. And they're down 3-0. So Burnett, Castillo, and Mayberry here in the 6th for Florida. AJ is 0 for 2. Ground ball to Varus over to first for the out. So 27 batters deep for Maddox, 86 pitches, 5 1/3 innings, 8 hits. The home run to Wilson, who seems to be his nemesis tonight. He has walked 1 while striking out 3. But it's a very dicey outing for Maddox. Castillo is 2 for 3. He reached on an error by Maddox and singled twice. He draws the walk. They just can't get him out. Here's Mayberry. He is 0 for 2. He has walked and scored. Up the middle, DeRosa to Varus for 1 over to Bronya, and they turn it. So a good heads-up play by DeRosa to start the 6-4-3. The Marlins go down. No runs, no hits, no errors. Bottom of the 6th here at Turner Field. It's 3-0 Florida. So Burnett threw 18 batters, 70 pitches. That just is the magic of Maddox to get through 29 batters on 95 pitches. So 70 pitches for Burnett through 18, 5 innings, 2 hits, 3 walks, and 4 strikeouts. But there's nothing but Bengals on the board for Atlanta as far as the score is concerned. Here's Varus. He has struck out twice. And again, that's 5 for Burnett. A curveball he took something off of, and Varus just swung right through it. So here's B.J. Surhoff. He has singled. He's 1 for 2. Base hit opposite way into left center field. Only the 3rd hit for Atlanta. Surhoff has 2 of those. So here's Andrew Jones. He walked in the 1st. He's 0 for 1. So as well as Burnett has pitched through the first 5, Atlanta is in the heart of their order and can score. In the left center field, back goes Floyd to the track, off the wall. Surhoff will round 3rd and score. Jones is into 2nd standing, and it's a 3-1 ball game. So here's Chipper Jones. He walked in the 1st and is 0 for 1. Line drive to right. Mabry's there. And Jones has to scamper back to the bag. 2 out. Here's Davey Martinez. He's singled. He's 1 for 2. Popped up. Gonzalez moves over to the bag at second, makes the catch, but the Braves get a run on 2 hits and no errors. After 6 here at Turner Field, Braves are on the board, but it's still 3-1 Marlins. So Floyd, Lowell, and Wilson. Cliff 1 for 3. He has singled, struck out, and scored. So Commando Solo, what's your favorite team in all that? Tell us a little bit about yourself. Maddox giving me the fatigue warning. He is due up 4th in the 7th, so this should be his last inning, which will be his 100th on the replay. Pitch to Floyd, fly ball, right field. That's well hit, but Martinez is there, 1 out. So here's Lowell. Mikey is 0 for 2. Little ground ball to DeRosa deep in the hole at short, over to first. 2 out. Maddox might buy himself another inning now. Here's Preston Wilson. Pirates, and everything Pirates. Oh, okay. Trying to do the 79 season again and bring back We Are Family. So what game are you doing it in? I won my first ever bet on that World Series, oh, by the way. Maddox kicks and fires. Ground ball over the mound. DeRosa has to run to it, and Wilson is out on a bang-banger. Stretch time, 3-1 Squishy Fishies. It'll be Bronya, DeRosa, and Baco, with Maddox possibly here in the 7th. Halfway through the 79 season, and Strat Commando Solo 193 is having fun with it. Montreal is the team that's going to give you the biggest trouble, I think. Bronya has walked and struck out. He's 0 for 1. Struck him out. That's 6 for AJ. An 0-2 changeup. Took a lot off it. Bronya wanted a fastball and got served the change. 1 out. DeRosa is 0 for 2 with a K. Burnett is now fan 6. Any given Sunday. Exactly. I think the Reds won't give you that much trouble should you get past Montreal. Pitch to DeRosa. Fly ball, left center field. Wilson moving out there. Makes the catch, 2 away. So here's Baco. 0 for 2 is grounded into a double play. Paul, again, shallow left center. Wilson rides a swing, makes the catch. And you get a bonus inning of Greg Maddux. How about that? After 7, no runs, no hits, no errors. It's still the Marlins 3, the Braves 1. So Charles Johnson, Derek Lee, and Alex Gonzalez here in the 8th. Johnson 1 for 3. He has singled and driven in a run. Maddox starts the frame with a ground ball to second. Ferris behind the bag over to first for the out. Here's Lee. Derek is 2 for 3. Single, double, and a strikeout. Ground ball to DeRosa over to Bronya. Big Dave, what are you doing for a project right now? So Maddox 1 out away. Here's Gonzalez. He's 0 for 3 with a strikeout. I didn't think Maddox would go 8 in that first inning, but yet here we are, 1 out away from a full 8-inning affair. Pitch to Gonzalez is right back to Greg. He won't make another error. over to Bronya, and that will retire the side. So Maddox goes and gets the handshakes. He somehow turned this into 8 innings of 8-hit ball. After 7.5, it's Florida 3, Atlanta 1. So who can hit a righty? And the answer is going to be Brian Jordan. Jordan doesn't have a pinch hit. Overall, 247, 8 homers, and 25 RBI. The rain continues. Wind's now out to left center at 10. And at, what time is it? 9:26 at night here in Atlanta. It's still a very uncomfortable 83 degrees. Pitch to Jordan. Ground ball to Lowell. Mikey has to come in for it. Snap throw to Lee a long way across for the out. So 1 out for Varys, who has taken the collar. He has struck out all 3 times. Burnett, 99 pitches. But I'm not one. 27 batters, 7 1/3 innings, 4 hits, 3 walks, and 6 strikeouts. Chopper to Burnett towards the bag at first, over to Lee for the out. So at least Varys made contact this time. 2 outs for Surhoff. BJ is singled twice and scored a run. I think Big Dave fell asleep. Surhoff line drive to Gonzalez, and that will retire the side. Big Dave responds just as soon as I said that. Replaying Sal Magley starts from 50 to 54 using Fall Classic Baseball. Greg would be thrilled with that, by the way, and now Digital Diamond. And, of course, you could use Fall Classic Baseball on Digital Diamond, so you wish. Well, here's a tough decision because you know they're going to pinch hit, I would think, for Burnett. Jose Cabrera will come into pitch. Cabrera making his 29th appearance, 3-1 on the year, a 2.10 ERA. 29 years old, a fastball at 92, and a standard pitcher. Last pitched 2 days ago against the Marlins, so Monday night, in a 6-1 loss. 2 innings, 25 pitches, 2 hits. A solo run, it was earned, and he struck out 2. Overall, 25 2/3. Tribe fan, how are you? 25 2/3, 14 hits, 8 runs, 6 earned, 2 homers. He walked 7 and struck out 22. So let's see what they do with Burnett, who's 0 for 3. Yep. Doing okay. I am too. It'll be the Jones brothers and Davey Martinez in the bottom of the 9th. Florida leading 3-1. Burnett is done. It'll be Ryan McGuire. Ryan at 184, a homer and 5 RBI as a pinch hitter. And overall 167. In his last game of the year. Those numbers are pretty close, aren't they? Pitch to McGuire. Draws a walk for Castillo. Louis is 2 for 3 with a walk. He singled twice. Ground ball to Varys. They're going to have trouble getting anybody. Throws to first, and Bronya stays on the bag. So McGuire moves up to second. Here's Mabry. John is 0 for 3, has walked, grounded into a double play, and scored. And Kevin Millar is going to pinch hit. Cowboy up. Mr. Frosty Tips is hitting .346, 5 homers, and 32 RBI. As a pinch hitter, He's hitting .346, 2 homer, and 4 RBI. Millar in the right field. Martinez will make the catch. McGuire goes back. You've talked about Dave Magley. Remind us again what your attraction is. Here's Floyd. Cliff is 1 for 4. He has scored and struck out. In the right field, Martinez will track that one down, and that will retire the side. Antonio Alfonseca coming in to close it out. We go to the bottom of the ninth. No runs, no hits, no errors. It's the Marlins 3 and the Braves 1. When you spell Tips with 2 P, Scotty says Frosty Tips sounds like an 80s hockey player. When you spell it with 2 P's, that sounds like a stripper name, doesn't it? Performing nightly at 2, 6, and 11 is Frosty Tips. She has the most amazing hips. Alfonseca making his 28th appearance, 3 and 5, 12 saves, a 3.58 ERA. He's 29 years old, an extreme ground ball pitcher, fastball at 89. A Canadian stripper. That gets rather moist. He last pitched, Alfonseca did, on the 14th, so he's had a full week off almost. He got the save against the Red Sox. Frosty Tips on a line with Toe Blake and Dit Clapper. Went 1 inning through 10 pitches and struck out a man in that save, his 12th of the year. 32 2/3, 46 hits, 22 runs, 13 earned, 5 homers, walking 4, and striking out 14. Tribe Fan says there's a guy on his trivia team that would say, hello, my name is Indigo Montoya. Anytime Alfonseca came in the game, as both have 6 fingers on one hand. Montoya probably was just as effective as a closer, as Alfonseca has blown 4 of his 16 chances. Braves need 2 to tie and 3 to win. Andrew Jones is 1 for 2. He has an RBI, a double, and a walk. He's now driven in 39. Struck him out. He got him to chase an 0-2 changeup at 80. Goodness gracious, Buffy St. Marie. Here's Chipper Jones. Chipper is 0 for 2 with a walk. Slow ground ball to the bag at second. Castillo picks it up, and it's last chance saloon time for the Braves. And so the Dirty Dozen visit Aunt B will come up after Davey Martinez makes it out. 1 for 3. He has singled and grounded into a double play. Last chance saloon here for Atlanta. The Marlins are going to be in first place as summer begins. Not quite yet. Millar, who's a 2 and a 5 out there on right, picks it up off a couple hops. So here's Bronya. He has struck out twice, 0 for 2 with a walk. It has rained all the way through, but not hard enough to bring out the tarp. Base hit right field. Millar picks it up. And Millar boots it. So Bronya and Martinez go an extra 90. And so now the winning run is at the plate. So who have you got with some power? So Javi Lopez is going to try to win this one outright. 294, 6 homers, and 28 RBI. If Montoya was a hairdresser, I'll read this as Vinny. If Indigo Montoya was a hairdresser, his shop would be called Prepare to Die. And you know who his first customer would be? Jermaine Dye. There you go. So let's see what Alphonse... Yeah, is right. That's a good one. Yep. The spirit of Todd B is with all of us. So Lopez waves the bat back and forth. Pinch hitter if Lopez should reach. Alfonseca sweating up a storm on this warm, rainy night in Atlanta. Johnson says, just do what you can. I believe in you, big guy. Here's the pitch. Ground ball to third. Lowell has this one, and the Marlins are in solo possession of first place. And yep, colorful commentary, such as what color will your Easter eggs be, you won't hear on a Fortnite stream. The final here from Atlanta, the Marlins 3, the Braves 1. So in 3 hours, yep, you just can't leave that many runners on, Dave. 3 runs, 8 hits, and an error, and the Marlins left on 9. The Braves 1 run, 6 hits, and 2 errors, and they left on 6. Burnett goes to 5-3. Preston Wilson's going to be your digital dice player of the game, 2 RBI and a homer. Burnett, 8 innings, 4 hits, a run it was earned. He walked 3 while striking out 6. Alfonseca, he gets a side-eye handshake from Burnett, picks up his 13th save. Maddox falls to 3-5, 8 innings, 8 hits, 3 runs all earned. The homer to Wilson, he walked 2 and struck out 3. So that gets posted on the board. And now the rest of this Wednesday in baseball. No, he didn't lose 2 in a row too many times. He has underperformed on this replay. The Royals beat the White Sox 6-2. Wilson 2-1. Biddle goes to 1-4. Graffinino 4 for 4. Philly beats Pittsburgh 9-3. Dahl 4-7. Bronson Arroyo falls to 2-5. Dahl also his own best friend 3 for 3 and 2 doubles. Reds double up Milwaukee 8-4. Retzma 5-6. Kunani 1-3. Boone 3 for that's Aaron 3 for 4 with a double. Minnesota shuts out Cleveland 3-0. Mays 9-4. Finley 7-2. Mays goes the distance and strikes out 5. Red Sox pound the Rays 9-2. David Cohn 3-3. Roop 4-3. Carl Everett 1 for 2 is 11th of the year and walks 2. Toronto 12. Baltimore 2. Carpenter 6-6. Roberts 3-8. Delgado 1 for 2 is 13th with 2 walks. Cubbies beat the Cardinals 5-4. The Cardinals commit 4 errors. Tavares 3-4. Matthews 4-1. Sammy Sosa 2 for 4. He has 2 homers. Now has 18 and drove in 2. Colorado's 16 hits, but they lose to Houston and Tony Eusebio's big night. 11-8. Eusebio a grand slam, drives in 5, 2 hits. Alou 2 for 3 is 11th of the year and drives in 3. Texas pounds out 17 hits and they beat Anaheim 11-4. Kenny Rogers was the gambler that game. 5 for 5. Russ Ortiz 7-4. A-Rod 3 for 5 is now at 24 on the year and is driven in 3. I'll pick up some cough drops in the morning, I hope. San Francisco dumps San Diego 2-1 and 10. Worrell 2-0. Hoffman 3-2. Rob Nenda's 19 save. Chan-Ho Park 3-hitter through 8 gives up 1 run, strikes out 6 and a walk, and loses 2-0 to Batista, who's 3-0. Park is 4-5. Prinz is 8th save. Jason Giambi homers twice. He now has 19. Drives in 4. Freddie Garcia, however, gets the win as the Mariners beat Oakland 6-5. Freddie is a 10-game winner. Mark Mulder is 6-5. Did I get them all? I did get them all. How about that? All right, tomorrow it'll be the Marlins and the Phillies from Florida. And then Thursday at lunch, the Braves and the Mets. So it's an NL East power show for the rest of this week. And until tomorrow at noon Eastern, I'm Ron Chuck, and thank you so much for watching. We'll talk to you the next time. Have a good night, everybody.